Yo, 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 what's going on, faithful? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew, and we are here to overreact to the Week 17 loss against the Los Angeles Rams. Did I say that right? Yes, the Los Angeles Rams. All right, guys, we're going to break this thing down. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty, we want to thank you guys for checking us out here. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I'm excited. I'm anxious to be back. But my man Nick is here. My man Tony is here. We want you guys to check out the website, all right, www.nothingbutniners.com. We're about to bring you guys a lot of fun stuff over there. This offseason is going to be a special one. I'm excited about it because we can get back into our player interviews and things like that. We try not to bother the players during the season. Now that the season's over, it's our time to have fun. We'll wait till after the Pro Bowl and all that stuff, but we're going to get in our bag, and I'm excited to bring you guys a lot of fun stuff this offseason. But also, on the website, you guys are going to see our social media handles, okay? We have Twitter and Snapchat. Both of those are Nothing But Nine, ERS. We have Facebook and we have Instagram, and both of those are Nothing But Niners. You guys can follow me at 49ersMike_NF. And I'm going to toss it to my man, Nick. What's going on, baby? How you feeling over there? I see you all gimped up and everything, man. You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm doing good. Doing good. Had surgery on Friday to repair a torn labrum, and this is what I get right now. So I had to repair my labrum and cut my bicep and move it. But other than the pain, I'm doing good right now.
All right. So we got to tell the truth here. We have to take a moment, take a time out. I know you want to tell people about your labrum and all that stuff, but Nick isn't telling you guys what happened. We've seen the comments where everyone's like, yo, Nick and Mike just need to fight and get it over with. This is what happened when Nick and I fought, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I had to handle my business. I had to hold it down, you know. I had to rough him up a little bit, but he'll be okay. He'll be okay. No long-term damage. My man's going to be all right.
Yeah. You wish. You wish.
No, I would never fight Nick, guys. That was just a joke. Tony, man, how you doing over there, baby? What's up?
Fellas, everything's good. Some good things, some bad things. We're going to touch on tonight. I'm just ready to talk some football.
All right. We're gonna get down to this thing over here. I don't know if that was just on my end, but it seemed like that was happening, right? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it wasn't me, because you know how I'm all nervous. You guys are gonna be happy to know that the grainy videos and photos and all that stuff and my bad feeds, it's over. It's over. Christmas was good to me. I got a new laptop. I got a new camera, the microphone and everything. Oh, guys, I'm back. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to overreact. So I guess we can go ahead and jump into it, man. The 49ers take another loss. This was a game of the number two. The number two was special this game. George Kittle, at one point, was number 2 on the all-time list for tight ends. Happy to see that he broke the record. We're going to get back to that. The 49ers were playing for that number 2 draft position. We secured that. We're going to talk about that. And the Rams were playing for the number 2 seed in the NFC. They secured that. We're not going to talk about it because we don't give a shit. But everything else we're going to talk about. The 49ers lose by 16 points to the Los Angeles Rams. And this game, man, I didn't get a chance to see it. I was listening. And I think in listening, I got to hear a little bit more. I was working and I was on the road all day. I got to hear a lot of commentary, not just the plays, but they were breaking things down on the side. And this game was ugly, man. It started out really, really bad. So I don't know which one of you guys want to start talking about it first, but let's start with the offense because that's how we started. The 49ers opened the game when they received the ball, and boom, turnover straight out the gate. Nick, your thoughts on it all, man? What were you thinking when the game started? How'd you feel about it?
Well, I mean, you're right in the basement, kind of like Tony, and your offense doesn't move, kind of like your service. But you know, 3 straight turnovers, man, killed us. I mean, you can't go in and thinking. I mean, obviously, is there really anybody that wanted to win this game today? I mean, I think more people were pulling for the Cardinals to win. But I like the fight that we had, but it was just, I mean, as soon as we had 3 straight turnovers like that, Mullins looked flustered. He just looked, I mean, no, Aaron Donald was unblockable today. He was just going off crazy. But it was just really sick to the stomach, seeing, 3 straight turnovers. Tony was saying earlier, and I'm sure he'll touch on it, is he feels like the defense took a step back today. But if you take those 4 turnovers away, that we could still be in that game offensively. So, we kind of it's been the tail of the whole season, kind of biting ourselves in our own foot. So 4 turnovers, you're not going to come back from that with a barely good team. It's hard to come back with four turnovers compared to the Rams, who can offensively move the football. So you kind of started the game off the way that it ended, and you lost.
Yeah, before I reflect on any of that, I'm going to toss it to Tony, see if he has anything he wants to talk about in particular. But I definitely want to reflect on what you're talking about and how, the beginning of the game really just set us back and kind of set the tone for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, basically, Nick Mullins had a couple bad throws, costly throws. They weren't straight interceptions, like directly into the defender's hands. They were tipped. 2 of them were tipped. One of them, I think all 3 of them were tipped. But the one of them, he threw into triple coverage. And I think we could all agree, and all the fans in their chat room, he doesn't have that type of arm to be throwing into triple coverage. He doesn't have arm strength to try to beat the coverage, to squeeze it in that tight window. He is accurate, but throwing into triple coverage and trying to force it to Kittle, because that's what he did a couple times today, it cost him. The defense made a play on the ball. The ball was sitting up in the air, it felt like, for 10 minutes, and a Ram came right under and picked it off. The other turnover, the non-passing turnover, interception turnover, was Juszczyk on a 3rd and 2, I believe. They ran a fullback trap up the middle, was stuffed by Donald. Pearson just got thrown back, and he tried to bounce it upside. A Ram defender went for his legs. He tried to reach like you're reaching over the goal line to break the plane, but this time he's trying to do it for a first down, and he got hit from the side. The ball came out. Now, listen, I think we can all agree Juszczyk is a high-paid free agent we acquired 2 years ago. And in my opinion, I don't know if you guys agree, this is one of the worst things he did his whole time in San Francisco. I don't have a problem with it. He's trying to fight for an extra yard to get the first down. So, listen, I'm not going to bash the guy for doing it. He tried to make the play. It didn't work in his favor, and that's it. But as far as the defense, in my opinion, I think they took a step back today. I think Saleh got schooled by McVay. And, it doesn't show because Goff only threw for 199, but I think he did have 4 touchdown passes. But, that's pretty much all I have right now.
So I'm glad you ended the way you did. You said that Saleh got schooled by McVay. Now, I'm not going to try to take anything away from McVay. He is absolutely one of the brightest and most innovative minds in the league right now. I put him up there in the top 4. I got McVay, Shanahan, Andy Reid, and Sean Payton are, I think, the top guys. And you got other guys that are coming for him also. You got guys over in Philly. You got guys over in Chicago that are, trying to do some big things. But I have McVay up there. I will say this, though. I had mixed emotions when I was trying to reflect on the game, because I was like, all right, we lost. I always try to say, why did we lose? If one position or aspect of the game played better, we would have won the game, right? And so in the very beginning of the game, obviously, I was like, all right, it's the offense's fault. The offense gave up short fields, the turnovers. They were scoring off of them left and right. It was like, if the offense played better, we would have won this game, right? We had, 14 points off of turnovers? Or was it more than that? I know that maybe 17. I feel like every time they got the ball back, they were in position to score already. I can't remember exactly how many.
I think it was 17, Mike.
17 off of it. Okay. So we lost this game by 16 points. And I'm not saying that they weren't going to get those 17 points some other way, but I can't blame it all on Saleh. At the same time, they scored over 40 points. You take away those 17, that's still too many points to allow your opponent to score. So I blamed the offense in the beginning. Then I took a step back and I started blaming the defense. Then I started thinking about the special teams, and we were giving up some big returns and things like that. It wasnwasn't good. This team played equally poorly all the way around. Now, I think that if I had to blame one phase of the game, or one side of the ball less than the other, I'm going to shoot bail to Robert Saleh. It's just too many injuries, man. I heard Malcolm Smith was out there. Fred Warner got dinged up. Exum had to come out. There's someone else that was on the defense. Elijah Lee. Elijah Lee got injured. Listen, during the radio broadcast, They said that the 49ers played after Exum had to come out for a little bit and they put someone else back there. The 49ers have played with 18 different safety combinations this season. I don't even know how that works. 18 different safety combinations this season for the 49ers. That is insane. That is crazy. That's nuts. I know that Robert Saleh has time to prepare his guys and everything. You get ready, you get the game plan and all that, but there's only so much you can do when you're literally just blinking your eyes to see who's coming out there next to, plays very important positions. Linebackers got beat pretty bad today. That's been an overall sentiment of a lot of the people who watched the game and who were analyzing the defense. But look at what do you expect from Malcolm Smith? Am I the only one who thinks that he might be the worst signing that we had? I mean, we can debate that also. We can talk about whether it was Garcon or if it was Juice or if it was Malcolm Smith or if it was even bringing back Jimmy Ward on that $8 or $9 million guaranteed contract. There's a lot of players that this team kept or brought back or brought in here that you're just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. So I don't know, man. This was a shared effort in this loss. I think all three phases earned this one. But there was some positive, guys. There was some positive. We got that number 2 pick, and I'm damn excited about that. Go Niners. Go ahead, Nick. I see you want to jump in. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree with you in all aspects of what you were saying, as in, people can sit here and say that, like Tony was saying, we got schooled. I don't think we literally got schooled. I just think it's the lack of talent that we had out there. I mean, it's just, you see all these guys going down. You see, it's just two total different talent tiers between offense and what was playing on defense today with injuries and stuff like that. Even without our injuries today, we're still lacking talent on the defensive side of the football, which we know that we're hopefully address that in the offseason. I can agree with you on the Malcolm Smith contract. I mean, obviously that was a really horrible contract. I think it was kind of just like the whole Logan Paulson type of thing. Just bring somebody in here, get going, but Malcolm Smith has never been that guy due to the fact that he's been injured. So is he expendable this year? Absolutely. With Exum or not Exum, Elijah Lee playing well. Fred Warner, the way that he's come along.
Zoucha.
Yeah, Mark Nazaucha. And so, I mean, I think there's things that there's going to be – I think we may see some people that we're not expecting to be cut this year actually cut off this team. Maybe Malcolm Smith, maybe, Pierre Garcon, maybe – I'd hate to say this, but maybe even Marquise Goodwin. Just because of injury and those concussions and what's been going on. So, but overall, man, I can't really be mad at the game today. I mean, I can be mad, but you also got to look back and say, we're competing against these guys and we still put up 32 points. I'm sorry. 32 points with a basically a fourth string guy, quarterback. He made mistakes in a big game. He's not going to come out here and be a starter next year. And we were talking about it in the group today here and there, is that, I'm a big believer of Nick Mullins, but I don't think Nick Mullins would be what Nick Mullins is in another scheme. Kyle Shanahan definitely develops his quarterbacks. You can look at Matt Ryan. You can look at Blaine Gabbert. You can look at all these quarterbacks that he's had in his system, and he makes them look good. I'm not going to sit here and say he can compete with Jimmy Garoppolo, because Jimmy Garoppolo does a lot of things better, way better than Nick Mullins. But Nick Mullins definitely deserves to be here as a backup next year, because he can physically take this team over a CJ Beathard. So, but you can't get mad at it. I mean, you really can't. We got the number 2 pick. I was hoping for that number 1, man. I was hoping that Arizona game could just, it would just make it even better that we beat Seattle and then Arizona comes in and beats Seattle and we get the number 1 pick. So it would have been a much better of a tale of a story to end the season, but I'll stick with the number 2. Hopefully, I don't even think we're going to pick there, though. I really don't. I think we're going to trade that pick. So, but we'll get into it.
Absolutely. Nick, you stole my point, and I'm glad you did. We talk about the offense. I was blaming the offense in the beginning, but the reason you have to pull back on the reins is because the 49ers are out there with Alfred Morris, who was been inactive, a healthy scratch for how many games, and Day. You know what I mean? Day was out there playing because we lost Wilson very, very early on. You think about Nick Mullins, the third string quarterback, right? You look at who started the game at the wide receiver position for us. It was Kendrick Bourne and was it Trent Taylor or Richie James? I think it was Trent Taylor. Those
It was Richie.
Oh, it was Richie.
Yeah.
Those were our 1 and 2?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. Kendrick Bourne had a good game. Quietly. He had a good game. I don't know, Nick, if you saw it. I know you said you were tied up, Mike, but he had a good game. He made a couple nice catches. He went up for a couple balls. He had a solid game.
The guys on the radio were definitely praising him. There was a key. I think it was a third down, and they said that Mullins knew where he was going with the ball. He threw it low and out and away from him, and it allowed Kendrick to make a really impressive catch and keep the ball moving, keep us moving the ball. So I did like that. And if you look at his numbers, I mean, he had 5 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. He was decent today. He served his purpose out there. I don't know, man. It's really hard to blame even the offense because the Rams had their starters out there. You had motivation everywhere out there today. The Niners were motivated to get George Kittle this record, and we're going to talk about that next. But the Niners were motivated to get George Kittle that record. But the Rams are also motivated to get Aaron Donald that sack record. They wanted to get that for him. And the Niners did a good job of, now Nick Mullins got the hell beat out of him, but but they didn't get that record on us. You know what I mean? Not today, not right now. So I was happy about that. But overall, man, we have to take a step back and look at who was out there and just come on, man. We were playing with the backups as backups as backups. Everywhere.
The only thing I wish for that was closer. I just wish it was a little bit closer.
It was a 16-point loss. It's 2 scores.
No, I mean it was blown open pretty good, Mike, at one point.
It was. All right, so check this out though. But you take away, it's hard to say take away, but those giveaways early in the game.
Correct.
Really, the game was over from then on.
Yeah.
We were down 21 or something like that at one point. It was over. And, it's not that we necessarily closed the gap. We still lost by 16, but the team showed fight. They didn't give up. Now the Rams did end up pulling their starters, so there's not a lot that we can credit them. We can credit the starters for, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say or what else to do about the offense and the expectations that people had. But I am looking forward to next season. I'm looking forward mostly to some more George Kittle. So this is the George Kittle segment, guys. And now if you are prone to seizures, please look away from the screen. But I am celebrating my man George Kittle and his accomplishment. Congratulations on setting a record. George Kittle, the leading tight end in NFL history, baby. Travis Kelce, your punk ass thought you was going to get that record, didn't you? You had it for all of 5 minutes, man. But George Kittle came in and stole the shine. And in the most beautiful fashion ever, he broke tackles and took it to the house to set the record. Go, George Kittle. This light and this, I'm going to have to turn this off. I'm going to get dizzy. This is for you, George Kittle. Congratulations, my man.
I think George Kittle should send Kelce a signed jersey, no?
Yeah, right? Thanks for the motivation, bub. I got you, though. I got you. So, guys, what are your thoughts on George Kittle getting the record? Do you care? Is it all right, yeah, it's an individual thing. It's not a team thing. I don't know if you guys watched the presser, but that's basically what he said. He was like, yeah, it's great to have the record, and it hasn't quite set in yet. He goes, but honestly, I don't care if I have 0 catches for 0 yards and we win 12 games. I prefer to win the 12 games. So he's saying the right things at the microphone, but he's also leading to some other things, too. I want to see what you guys' thoughts on George Kittle. Don't both speak at the same time. Anybody?
I'll go. I'm a huge Kittle fan. I met the guy on the field when I went to the game in October. Great guy. Great with the fans, with the kids. I'm really happy for him. And, everyone's bashing, John Lynch and his administration that he can't draft, they're struggling to find players. Well, guess what? The 49ers found themselves a steal, a true franchise player, a game changer, and George Kittle in the 5th round. And I am very happy to have that man on my team. And I am going to get his jersey soon. And he deserves it. Congratulations, George. I can't wait to listen to KMBR tomorrow to hear what's his name? The announcer. He calls him Kittle Corn.
Tim Ryan? Or is it Tim Ryan?
Yeah, I'm dying to hear what he has to say. And, you know, it's good. We have a true weapon. Hey! We have a true weapon. And it's good to have. And he's leadership. He's a team captain in his 2nd year. And there's a lot of positives with Kittle.
Yo, Kittle gave us a reason to watch Niner football this year. So
this year, what about today? Like,
I mean, just in general. I mean, you know, he's always been very humble, though, because even when we had him on our show, he was very humble. He was talking about the steps that he had to take to become better. He had a year last year where you could see the potential, but he just couldn't stay healthy. This year, he's changed his entire diet. He's changed the way he's worked, his motivation. And, you know, come out here and you get, what was it, 1377 he ended with? I mean, this guy could easily be a 1,500-yard receiver in this system. I mean, he's well-deserved of it. I mean, the kid's a beast. I mean, yards after catch, his route running, his catching. I mean, you can remember a lot of plays last year where he was just dropping balls, and we're like, well, you can't do that. You know, even this year he had a couple. But he makes up for it, man. The kid's a beast. He's young. He's going to get paid when his contract comes up, and I think he's only going to continue to get better in the league.
Yeah, man. Like you said, he gave us a reason to watch all year. I was giving you a hard time. I was thinking that, you know, for no other reason, I was listening today to see what Kittle could do. I didn't expect us to win. I wanted us to win. I woke up and I kind of had a feeling I was like, you know what? The Rams are going to sit their starters. We might pull this one off. And if they did, we would have won. You could tell because of the comeback that we had down the stretch there in the second half. But they didn't do that. They kept their starters in there to secure the win, to earn that number two overall pick. And you know, that's just the way it was. But I was super happy for Kittle. You guys said it all. He's a great guy. But he was throwing some mixed signals at the presser. He was talking about, 0 catches, 0 yards, 12 wins. That's what I want. But they were like, oh, well, where's the jersey or where's the football? Oh, no, I got that. It's hidden away. Like, it's there. You can try to pretend like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But when you're hiding stuff, he even said, I don't want what happened to Tom Brady to happen to me. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Tom Brady had a ball that went missing, and then they sold it and they found it and they tracked it down and all that stuff. You know, what's up?
It was a jersey, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. And so that's what I'm saying. But he's got all that stuff put away. He got everything hidden and locked away and everything. So he knows it, but he's saying the right things at the right time. But you ask him the right question, you can see that he's excited about it. You can get the answers out about it and everything. And it was good to see, man. I'm super happy for George Kittle. And, you know, especially because he's a Niners player, I want this to continue. I want more success. I wish he would break the record every single year. You know, I would like to see him get in the end zone some more, though. I want to see him touch some pay dirt, you know. I saw a tweet today that said, oh, I don't remember the player's name. I think he was on the Panthers. He had 3 touchdowns today, and George Kittle has 4 all season. I don't know why those 2 players were linked at all. Does that mean that we should cut George Kittle and get the Panthers tight end?
That's all he has is 4 touchdowns the whole season?
That's what he had going into the game, yeah. Yep.
Really? I thought definitely he had more.
He's a chain mover. He's a 20-20 guy. What are you laughing at? What's so funny? But yeah, man, he's a chain mover, you know, but he wasn't getting in the pay dirt. You gonna say hi? You're not gonna say hi to anybody? She's gonna look. You're sleepy. She's sleepy. Yeah. All right. So we need to overreact. I think we're being too sensible, guys. Let's talk. Let's make the sky fall here. tomorrow is Black Monday. Head start rolling in the NFL. So I do want to ask you guys a serious question. You don't have to necessarily overreact, but do you guys think changes are coming to the 49ers roster? The coaching staff, not the roster. I'm sorry. The coaching staff or the front office. Do you guys think changes are coming? Yes or no? And if yes, then I want to know some of the changes you think might be underway. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I think changes, not changes are coming, but I think they're going to add to what they have. I think they're going to add another set of eyes on the offensive side of the ball for Kyle. I think they're going to add somebody to help work with Saleh, someone that'll sit up in the press box because Saleh likes to be on the field. I also heard a rumor that Martin Mayhew is rumored as a GM option for other teams. His name has been around the league offices to be getting interviewed for a spot. So if something like that happens, I could see them adding somebody to the front office. I do think you might see a little help in the secondary with Hafley. I don't know if if they're going to keep Hafley or they're going to add somebody to work with Hafley. The guy they just hired, Kiffin's brother, Chris Kiffin is his name. I don't know, but Lane Kiffin, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know if you guys could have a feeling about it, but I don't think he really added anything to the defensive pass rush. Maybe he came up with a couple stunts, but I don't know. I just honestly think when we talked about before this season started in 2008, when Shanahan went out and hired Ken Norton to be the assistant head coach and to be the linebacker coach, I think he was banking on that move to help Saleh. They're both familiar with that Seattle defense. And I really think that Kyle really wanted that to work and finish, but obviously Seattle took him back from us and made him the defensive coordinator, which you can't be mad at. He controls the defense. But I do think there will be a move on possibly both sides of the ball. And you never know, because I'm hearing rumors now Scangarello could be an option for an offensive coordinator somewhere. And the receiver coach, LaFleur, as a possible coordinator somewhere. All learning under Shanahan. And look what Scangarello did with an undrafted free agent, how he made him a competitive NFL quarterback for the Niners due to injuries. But, I mean, big changes, no. A couple tweaks here and there I could see happening.
I think definitely strength and conditioning might be replaced. Could possibly well be. I think that it will be, but knowing me, it's probably not going to be. The only other change that you may see is secondary or DB's coach with Hafley. Either Hafley gets brought in to help him, or he gets replaced. But other than that, I really think that the coaching staff stays intact. I really don't think they make too many adjustments or changes right now.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff that you guys said. Another position that I've been thinking about is the special teams coordinator. This special teams is kind of underwhelming. I don't know. You have guys who were punt return and kick return stars and studs in the NFL. I mean, in college, and they get here and they're dropping balls and passes, and you're putting them down and you're taking them out like that. There has to be something going on there. But I also know that the injuries were so massive that we lost a lot of special team aces. So, I'm probably there with Nick, where I would like to see the strength and conditioning staff upgraded. And by the way, when I say strength and conditioning staff, I don't know who is responsible for what. Well, this is what I mean. The guys who prepare the starters week in and week out and give them this workout regime, because the starters are super frail. You listen and you think about all the backups that come in, right? None of the backups are ever injured. They're not on the injury report. It's not until they become starters and preparing to play in games when they get injured, right? So whoever's preparing the starters, that's a red flag to me. Here's another thing. Whoever it is that is clearing certain players to come back in and play some more. Whoever was doing this with Breida all season long, that person needs to be talked to or fired or reprimanded somehow. because Matt Breida, people want to say, oh, he's not injury prone. He's not injury prone. Yeah. This guy gets dinged up every 8 touches, it seems like. And for the 49ers to continue to clear him and let him keep coming back out there, something needs to be done about that. We can't keep letting players get in their own way. You know what I mean? Like you have to say you're not ready. You're not healthy enough to go back out there. And so whoever those people are, when I say strength and conditioning, that's what I mean. I don't know if they're all part of the same thing. I don't know if it's a team doctor or whatever, and they're not part of strength and conditioning, but whoever it is that's doing all of that, that's who I want to see changed, or something has to change over there. So that's who I would want to see. As far as everyone else, as far as position coaches, I'm a little torn on Hafley. 1 second, I really don't like what I'm seeing from the secondary. And then I look at all the young guys who came into play in the places of other guys in the secondary. And I'm like, well, he does a really good job of getting the young guys prepared. And so I'm torn on Hafley. But, when I was talking to other people about this, I was talking to Eric about this. I think it was earlier today. He was saying that, I was like, look at how well these young guys are playing, like Reed and Moore and Harris. Like they're coming in, they're doing good. And he was like, Mike, if you ask me, I think they just simplified everything. It's not that they're necessarily coached good. They're good athletes, and they simplified everything. I don't think that he's doing that much. And if that's the case, then Hafley should go too. This secondary, we can't play like basic zone coverages in secondary. We can't do it. We talked about communication issues all season long, and Saleh did his damnedest to try to blame it on continuity, and the guys aren't comfortable talking to each other. Come on, man. Like you're crying wolf. I'm not going to believe that every single week after week. How hard is it to say call out your plays or communicate? And if you can't get that across to the guys in your secondary, you should still be fired. And I got my sights set on Hafley there.
I don't think it's communication that he's tripping at. I think it's continuity, meaning the same players knowing what the same players can do and what players are capable of doing, because there is continuity on offense, on defense. I mean, I don't think I agree that Saleh needs to work on things, but I don't think it's blaming on communication.
No, I wasn't blaming on Saleh. I was saying that I think Saleh was covering for Hafley. So in the beginning of the season, all the way up to probably until a bye week and everything, there were a lot of busted coverages. Remember when Kittle was getting frustrated, he turned around, he was like, where are you supposed to be here? You're supposed to be here. Those kind of things were happening all season long. And Saleh kept blaming it. Saleh kept saying it's a communication issue. That's what he kept saying over and over. And my thing is, that's the secondary. That's Hafley's group. How can they not be taught to communicate with each other? And so that's what I'm saying. I think Saleh was making excuses or covering because they don't want to throw they don't want to throw each other under the bus. I think that's what he's doing for Hafley.
I also think Saleh simplified, like you just touched on. Saleh simplified this defense. That's why this defense as a unit prior to this week played better. You can't hear me? All right. So what you said, I'm just touching on that. You touched on saying that Saleh simplified or Hafley simplified the secondary. I think Saleh in general, since we went on that streak on defense that we've been playing better minus today, simplified the whole defense. That's just my – what's up, Ant? That's just my opinion. Now, I mean, this could open up Pandora's boxes. Now, if he really simplified this defense, now, does he deserve to come back?
Well, and this is a good point that Coach Tim makes, because I want to touch on this real quick. Secondary is not as bad as it looks. We have no pass rush. Our inside linebackers can't cover. That's why Saleh plays so much zone. He's trying to cover weaknesses. Look at the film. I kind of agree with him there. I mean, we do have a lot of weaknesses, but Mike, going back to what you're saying is, and I know you're going to tell me that what players don't praise their coaches, but like Sherman said, the first thing I've ever heard about Hafley all year was with Sherman's presser last week when he was saying it was kind of like an offensive player talking about Kyle Shanahan, because he said the way that he prepares you, it's not the why, it's about the whys, the hows, the why we do this, why we do that, why we do that. And Hafley breaks that down to each individual player and explains everything to them. And Sherman was saying how he felt that he did a really good job with doing that. It's not just about this is what you're supposed to do, but this is why you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is when you're supposed to do it. I think really the thing that has hurt this defense is not mainly that we have a ton of weaknesses, is mainly like we were saying, is we went through 18 safety personnels this year. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? Total. So that's where I'm trying to jump at you with continuity is you learn how each other play, and it's hard to get a grasp of how a lineman, like Joe Staley even said it his last presser when he was saying about how Lakin's coming along. He's like, Lakin came in last year and we barely played with each other, but we got better as the season went along. But he's been able to stay healthy. He played this year, and now they know exactly, how they're going to block somebody or why they're, or, which direction they're going to go and certain things like that. But there's communication there. It may not be physically saying, hey, Mike, I'm going to jump over and cover this guy, but it's learning and knowing how the defender is going to read the play, move the play, and execute the play. So I'm with you on the page that you're talking about Salah maybe be covering up for Hafley, as in it's a communication issue. But it's also not only just a communication issue, it's also a lack of players playing every week that breaks that communication up as well, because you start getting used to one player and then that player's down. You go into the season with Jaquiski Tart starting here, you go into the season with Adrian Colbert starting there, and then the next 3 weeks you go through 4 more guys. So that's all I'm trying to say. I think this defense isn't as bad as we think it is. I think if we get a pass rush, it's going to help tremendously. It's definitely going to change the whole aspect of the day.
A pass rush absolutely would help, but I'm with you, and I was making excuses. You remember in the beginning of the season, you and I were going back and forth about, is it Salah or is it the coaches or is it the players? And we were going back and forth. But every time a coach came to the microphone, they were shooting the players bail. They were saying, no, the players are good. They can do it. Whatever. It's communicate. Like I'm telling you, we've seen the players individually perform well, which means that it was a scheme issue or it was, I don't know. We're gonna end up talking in circles. Anthony, my man just joined in. I'm glad you got the link to work. I want to ask you a question. This is what we're talking about right now. Black Monday is tomorrow, and we're trying to figure out if you think any moves are going to be made in the 49ers front office. You think any coaches are coming in or going, or any changes like that? Maybe, not necessarily coaches, but front office and execs. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think any coaches are going to get let go just yet. I don't know if you guys brought it up since I joined a little late, but maybe the strength and conditioning coach. That's such a murky field to talk about because injuries are so weird. Scott and Matt have both talked about it, how injuries can both be kind of unlucky, but also can be prevented based off of how they take care of themselves. And that's the one thing I see that will be kind of looked at under a microscope. And then the other thing, though, is, again, I'm sorry for joining late, but Robert Saleh and Shanahan and Lynch need to have a sit-down. They need to have a sit-down, and we need to see what is going on. Like you said, I understand Saleh can only do so much as a coordinator, but those first 8 weeks of the season were so rough. I was sick and tired of seeing Solomon Thomas and Cassian Shamar being dropped into zone coverage. I don't want to see that. We are trying to help these guys grow, not help them do things that's out of their comfort zone. So, under a microscope, Saleh needs to be sat down and say, hey, you improved in the second half, and we saw it. We all saw that. I think in the second half, the defense tightened up. Saleh's play calling got a lot better, but there's still that slight bit of concern from the first half that at the least worries me a little. But I think that'll all change, in my opinion, will most likely change once everyone's healthy again. We make the right additions in free agency. We make the right additions during the draft. Because Saleh, he was kind of put through a shit show the whole season. The first half was rough. The second half was a little better. 18 different personnel combinations with safeties alone. Safeties alone. You shouldn't have 18 different combinations on safeties. You shouldn't even have that on defense. At the most, you should have like 4 or 5. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's mind-boggling that these injuries are so bad. Okay, I'm sorry for getting worked up. But either way, it's 50-50 with Salah because some of the play calling was weird, but also the position he was put in on defense, especially with the turnovers like today, for example. Back-to-back turnovers put him in the red zone. What can you do about that? You can only do so much. And on top of that, the defense wasn't getting turnovers. There's no pressure being forced. Salah still doesn't have the personnel that he wants. He has guys that can fit, but not all of them can exactly execute, And we had a problem with that all season is the execution. Maybe the play calling was right, but the execution wasn't. How many times did we see Marcel Harris bite on the play action, get sucked into it, and leave his man wide open in the red zone, let alone wide open? And it's stuff like that you can't put that on Salah. You got to put that on the players. And that's just one example of many. That is coachable. But at some point, the scrutiny with Salah has got to stop. And you just have to look at the deeper issue other than just the plays being called. Execution goes just as far as coaching. You can call the best play for the situation, but coaches can't make players execute. Players have to execute. The only thing you can do about that is coach them up to make sure they can do the best they can.
Listen, I'm with you.
Just like me.
What?
I say he sounds just like me.
Oh.
With the whole player thing, because you know how I'm big on that.
Are you on the toilet or something, bro? Your picture's gone. You don't want us to see you? Nick?
Yeah.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Tony, man, Anthony, you brought up something really good that I want to talk about. You said that Robert Saleh has players that can do things, but they're not his guys. You alluded to that. Like, he's got the players. He doesn't have the players he wants, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
This team was put together. How many guys were here from 3 years ago? Like 4? Like, this team was put together by this regime. This entire roster, we got Tart here, Ward here, Armstead, Buckner, Staley. Is that it? I believe that's it, right?
Sell it.
Don't forget Pinion. That's my boy.
Who?
Pinion.
We're up to 7 out of 53. Well, not counting the practice squad. This is their team. This is their roster. I used to sit around and say the same thing, like, oh, they're working with the best that they got. And, they built this roster. This is them. This is their doing. This is their choosing from the free agents and everything.
They did build this team, but they also didn't expect the players that are playing this year, the full practice squad, to be playing.
We have like 3 practice squads on our team.
No, but I'm saying like our entire practice squad is playing on the 53-man roster this year. So I can see what you're saying is, as Mike's saying, they did build this team, but I don't think they built that. The players that we're using this year aren't players that are supposed to be playing right now.
I can't. Nah, come on, bro. Why are they on your practice squad if you don't have a purpose for them then?
Well, you do have a purpose.
One thing I forgot to say was that, and Mike actually just kind of opened my eyes about it, the team is young also. I should have brought that up. The team is young, and Andrew Luck just threw a pick. It's their team. It's their team. I kind of take it back because a lot of these guys are first and second year players. But I think it's just a matter of scoping out and seeing if those players are right, because there's still a handful of leftovers on the team that might not be what they want, or just guys that they thought would work out that didn't. And maybe it's too early to tell because a lot of them are first, second, third year players. And that was on me for not bringing it up. That is, in the sense, their team. And yeah, that's what I forgot to bring up. But these guys still need to execute. The bottom line is that these guys still need to execute.
Right. And all I'm trying to say is, yes, they drafted these players. And Mike, I understand you're saying that they built this team, which is true. They did build this team. But they're not expecting those players that they put on the practice squad to compete this year. They want them to be players that are 2 or 3 years down the road where they can continually develop them. Where, like the minor leagues in baseball have a minor league team to develop. The NFL doesn't have that. That's what your practice squad is. They're not supposed to be on the 53-man roster. You take what you think can succeed in the NFL, you put them on your practice roster for them to continually grow and build and develop, and then use them. So this year, we used all of them. It wasn't like they said, oh, we're going to draft these guys and and we're going to pick up this guy and this guy and this guy because they have potential to play right now. Because, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of thankful for the way that the year went, not as in thankful as in losing, but we could see what that depth is, what we have on that practice squad, because those guys just got put into the ring of fire, and we see that there's going to be competition next year. So we have to trust in Kyle Shanahan, because the guys that he did put on the practice squad that no other team had interest in, he saw potential in those guys, in his system, on this team, and they came out and they balled for being practice squad guys. They're upping that competition level for next year, saying, okay, well, if you guys aren't ready to play, these guys are. And then next year he's going to maybe fill the roster up again with practice squad guys. You know, you've seen guys like Joe Williams. You know, he took the hit on one of those high picks, but then you have somebody like Wilson, you know, that he replaced him with. So it's like, okay, I see somebody better, I'm going to throw him on a practice squad. He wasn't expecting those guys. Who in the hell in their right mind would have thought Nick Mullins was playing quarterback this year? Like,
come on, bro. Now, you know damn well I didn't mean like they expected them to start right away. But you also know that they keep them around because they see potential. That's all.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, I'm not talking to you guys. I see the comments, and I see some smart asses out there in the comment section.
Oh, my phone died. I had to go and plug it in, get it charged, so that's why I'm waiting for the charge now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, someone's like, oh, Mike expects the practice squad guys to play as well as starters. Yeah, no, come on, man. Like, but they're still big guys, though. That was my – go ahead, Tony.
The best thing about it is the only way they're going to learn is game experience. And that's the most important thing. They got that this year. We lost Jimmy. We lost McKinnon. The season didn't go the way we wanted. Obviously, you won't when you lose your starting quarterback and your starting running back. So guess what? Let's see what the hell we have for next year. So now next year comes, I'm telling you now, they're going to be active in free agency. They're going to be active in the draft, whether they move up, down, around, whatever they do. This team, this front office, this offseason, going into year 3, is their time to shine. I think they're going to be aggressive. They know what they need, and they're going to go get it this year.
Just one thing, I don't want to cut you off, Mike, but Tony, I agree with you, because I think in their heads when they first took over, they're like year 3. This is like
because you can't do everything in 1 year.
Right. I think they had like that year 3 set in mind, and I think they went about it the certain ways to get pieces that they wanted. And I think year 3, I'm hoping that this is what it is, because you heard them all say it's not going to happen in 1-2 years. They never said it wasn't going to happen in 3 years. So I think they realize now that they have to spend money. Like, I think they really realize it now, because you heard John Lynch in the season talking about we have to be active in free agency. We have to be this. And I know our first year we spent, 11 free agents. But I think those 11 free agents were to get the system implemented.
Correct.
With younger guys. And now they're really going to get pieces that, you know, your veteran pieces, your pieces that are going to back you up offensively and defensively. And they're not just going to be plug me's now. They're going to be people that actually fit that position, because now the backups know how to play, and then the vets are going to come in for that leadership. So I definitely agree with you. I think year 3, the hot seat is going to start, not to fire like John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan, but I think their expectations for themselves is really starting now. Like this offseason, it's really going to start.
Because they did the first year, like you said, they added the pieces to help install their systems. On the offense with Garcon, on the defense with Malcolm Smith, even though that turned out to be a waste. But now, year 2, what did they do? Oh, we need a quarterback like Richard Sherman. They went out and got Richard Sherman. That's going to help their secondary to get on the same page. Now they know that their number one objective, their number one need is a pass rusher. So that's it. Okay, they built an offensive line. They played a whole season. We finished in top 6 in the run game for a run offense, I think. That's huge. That right there, just to have that type of run offense and have this offensive line start 16 games together and gel for one whole season was huge. That's a win for me, in my opinion, because now, as we all know, Kyle's offense is a play action offense. The run game's set. The play action will fall into place. They add a receiver. They add the pass rusher. They do what they need to do, fill in spots here and there. I think the defense needs another veteran in the back end. But I'm not going to say who I think. But, I mean, listen, it's going in the right motion. The team did not quit this year. I'm very happy about that. And, guys, listen, the people in the chat room are, oh, John Lynch don't know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. Man, this guy just found you a franchise piece in the 5th round. You're not going to hit on every pick. No GM hits on every pick. We took a shot with Foster. We straightened up. We screwed up. He's gone. The distraction's gone. The cloud is gone out of Santa Clara. Now we move on. We added Solomon Thomas. They finally slid him inside, and he's producing. Not sacks, but he's making plays. He's getting holding calls being called on him. But, I mean, it's going in the right direction. I think this offseason is going to be they attack the offseason. Not let it come to them. They're going to go out and get it.
And that's something I was about to get to also. You guys all speaking reminded me of something. You know, we killed them last year for not taking a flyer on an edge guy, right? Like we absolutely killed them. But if you think back to this draft, what edge guys were out there that were actually really good? Like, can you tell me someone that you're sad that we didn't get out of the draft this year?
The 18 draft?
Yeah, this past draft, yeah.
Bradley Chubb, but I think that's just because he has Von Miller on the other side.
So you got Bradley Chubb, right?
I
liked him, by the way. I was a huge Chubb fan. And you said Landry, right? Mm-hmm. And Landry had his flags and everything too. People were worried about. I think he had an injury that people were worried about. So
Davenport's been pretty good too.
Has he?
Yeah, he's kind of slept on, but he's above average.
All right, so you guys named 3 guys, right? But you take a look at this year already, right? Now they're all over the line. You got that guy, what is his name? Quinnen Williams in Alabama. You got Clelin Ferrell.
Yeah, this is a pass rush heavy defense.
Right. I think the scouting department was like, look, we got this. We're going to load up at other places, and then we're going to get what we need in year 3. I think you guys are spot on. They know how bad we need edge right now. I think they were looking at all these guys. You got, like I said, Farrell, you got Williams, you got Polite, you got Bosa, you got my man Allen. Like, come on, man. We got to get one. It doesn't pick 2 or pick 8. We're going to get one of those guys. It's going to happen, man. And so I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited for the offseason, man. I'm trying not to get in that mode yet. I still want to spend some time reflecting, but
I think the other thing that's going to help us this year, and I think what John Lynch and them are going to do is not only are they going to draft a edge rusher, but I think they're going to get a free agent veteran. I think they're going to address pass rush in both free agency and draft. I think they're going to address like linebacker in free agency and draft. I think if they're going to get a receiver, they're going to do free agency and draft. Like, I think they're going to double dip in each one, a free agent and a draft player. And the only reason I say that is because they need that veteran status right now. So those veterans are going to bring along the other guys to continue to make the Niners better for years to come instead of just now.
Yo, if you guys aren't watching this Titans and Colts game, man, you are missing some stuff going on.
I'm watching it as we speak.
I'm watching it right now, and I'm really
they just exchanging turnovers. I don't want to win. No, you win. I'm sorry, Nick, man. But yeah, man. Go ahead.
I just want to touch on something. I honestly, you said something that they didn't address a pass rusher last season. They did. They took a flyer on a Tauchu. It didn't work, but it did. On the other hand, it didn't cost them anything. They took a shot. They added this Delaney guy, Delaney. They added him. They added names. They brought the kid in from Texas A&M, Deshaun Hall. They're trying to find. They're trying to find a pass rusher. It's not to the level that we need to address it. We need to solidify it. But they have been bringing people in to try to find a diamond in the rough.
Come on, bro. Like what I meant was they didn't invest in anybody. No,
because there's no one to invest in. So why overpay? Like, honestly, I'll be straightforward with you, Mike. If Ansah didn't get franchised, I don't think they went after him.
No, absolutely not. No.
I don't.
That was a big bullet that we dodged. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad they didn't do that. But
hell yeah.
What I meant was like specifically in the draft. That's what I was talking about. They didn't go after anybody in the draft, and we could have, but they want to build the trenches and they want to start with the offensive side. You got Jimmy. Let's protect him. We got to make sure that we have Joe's replacement here. They didn't want to miss on that. I'm not mad at that. And then afterwards, they just went all over the place. But it's the holes that the team has right now are very obvious. It's very, very obvious. I think if you guys were to name me 3 positions, you might have them in a different order, but I think all 3 of us are going to come up with the same positions of the biggest need for the 49ers right now. I mean, what do you guys have? Let's do that little exercise really quick. If anybody want to go first, you guys want me to throw it out there? If you had 3 positions that were the biggest positions of need for the Niners, what would those 3 positions be?
Right now? Levels of the defense.
Right now.
I'll go first. In this order, I would say edge, interior offensive line because Lakin's probably done, and wide receiver.
We got Garnett, bro. Chill. We got Garnett. He's coming back.
Bro,
how did he play? I didn't get to see the game, and they weren't talking about it, so I got to go back and watch. But how did he actually play when he went in?
His first snap, he almost got into a fight with Aaron Donald.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah. I like it. See, sign him. Yeah. Sign him. That's what I want.
I'll take that. Yeah.
All right. So you got
interior
edge.
OL. Edge, interior OL, wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Okay, Nick. What about you?
Edge. I'm gonna go in order too. Edge. Oh. Safety.
Ooh.
Yep. And then receiver. That's what I would go.
I respect the safety.
Do you?
I kind of respect it. I see it. It's tough, but I see it.
All right, Tony. What about you?
Edge number 1. Honestly, I'd say the whole damn defense. All 3 levels of the defense address. And let's see what Saleh could do.
So you want an edge guy? You want the
secondary and a linebacker? We'll say.
See, when you say secondary, do you mean safety also, like Nick?
I mean, listen. Let's be real. Sherman's all over the internet saying he'd love to play with Earl Thomas. If Earl Thomas comes knocking on the 49ers door and says, "I want to play with Sherman," you're going to say no?
You want my opinion on that? Y'all don't want me to answer it because I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I'm going to say no.
Fuck yeah.
I'm saying no. I'm going to say.
Why is that?
He's coming off a nasty injury, and we
so
have
Sherman.
Huh?
And so was Sherman.
And I wasn't happy about the flyer that we took on Sherman either. In hindsight, I got perfect vision that way, But even still, I don't think Sherman was as good as his stats showed. I think Sherman was avoided for a large part of the beginning of the season. So that's what made him look as good as he was. I'm happy we have him here, and he is good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's as good as what 49er fans think. And I think that's because of how the beginning of the season started out. He wasn't being targeted a lot. But
let me ask you
I really, really like a lot of the young talent we have in the secondary. And I think between the speed of Colbert and guys like that, the determination of Tart, and then seeing what young guys who are playing in their place have done, I think that's all the motivation we need to get the top performances out of whoever wins those battles. I don't think that we need to go out and get another Earl Thomas because you guys got to remember, I'm crazy. Look, I'm the guy that was mad that we kept signing veteran wide receivers like Manningham and all them and not developing the other guys. You said it earlier, Tony. You said that the best way to learn is by playing time. And that's
you're 100% right.
So we're going to go out here and go get a veteran like Thomas and then just, all right, guys, go sit back down? Come on now.
Well, listen, you're 100% right. I'm just going to say this. Colbert coming into the season, he was supposed to be, he's the single high safety we've been looking for, great scheme fit. He fell flat on his face. Sophomore slump, he got hurt. Now you have Anton Exum, who's clearly not a free safety, as the backup. Okay? Tark, I love Jaguarsky Tark. I love what he brings when he's healthy, but he's having trouble staying on the field. So let me throw this scenario at you, and I want to hear what you have to say. Let's say they go out, Sherman's coming back. You add a pass rusher in the first round, whether it's Bosa, Allen, Pelote, whatever his name. You sign a veteran, Shaq Barnett, or you add Clay Matthews as a veteran experience, as a veteran leadership into this defense.
Wait. I can't let you go any further because I said Clay Matthews last week, and all you motherfuckers laughed at me.
I never I agree with you. I said he could play as Sam in his defense.
Don't nobody want Clay Matthews, bum ass, man. Get out of here. This ain't 5 years ago, bro.
All right, so you take Clay Matthews out. Let's say you throw money at Shaq Barrett to come in. Then you draft Bosa or whatever top defensive end you feel. You sign a tier 2 veteran cornerback to compete the opposite side of Sherman. You're telling me that won't be a top 10 defense? You don't think this defense would turn around?
What I'm saying is this. Okay, to answer your question, yes, I do think it would make a difference. But you added a lot in that scenario. You were grabbing people from all over the place.
We have the top. We have a second pick, so we're going to get a draft. We're going to get a pass rusher, right? You said
it.
Yes. Okay. We have ample cap space. Okay.
It's not as physically, literally speaking, right now, yes, but they're going to try to extend some guys, and that money ain't going to be as vast as we think it is.
Yeah, but they're also going to alleviate guys. Garcon's gone. Malcolm's gone. All those guys were 2-year opt-outs after 2 years for the team. Yes, they're going to get hit like maybe $2 million in dead cap space. That's fine, but you're shedding the rest of that contract. Now, everyone says this is the Seattle scheme. Like I said before, let's go. I want to draft somebody to be like Richard Sherman. You get Richard Sherman. Now you want to get a single high safety. You get the single high safety. You get Earl Thomas.
Why we got to get them all when they're fucking 30 years old, though? That's what bothers me. I don't know, man.
No, I understand. Why you want the youth. We only have 5 draft picks, okay? If you want to build this defense fast, you're going to have to bring in veterans. That's the mistake they didn't make, Mike. That's the mistake they made. They didn't bring in veterans to this defense.
It wasn't for lack of trying. People were offered more to play here, and they chose to go elsewhere. We can't fault them for that. We can't fault the front office for that. But
I think one of the reasons to bring Earl Thomas in is because I don't want to see Jimmy G get hurt again. He's going to be ready to go next season. Hold on, I'll finish. He's going to be ready to go next season. Let's elevate everything around him to the best of his ability. We surround him with these youth, and that youth doesn't work out again next season. At best, he's going to be 8-8 with another shitty defense. Bring in Earl Thomas, bring in that veteran leadership who's proven to back that secondary. On top of drafting an edge, let's elevate the defense and keep Jimmy G up on offense. This defense has failed to turn over the ball. This offense most of the time has failed to move the ball. Jimmy G can do that. Now we need to get things clicking. This is part of me being a frustrated Niners fan too, is I'm just impatient, but we need to get this train rolling, and I think Earl Thomas can do that. I don't think we can just survive on letting these 5th, 6th, 7th round safeties and corners do anything for this defense. Bring in Earl Thomas, bring in a proven leader, bring in a proven, All-Pro, Pro Bowl safety. Let him elevate that.
Oh, my God. Oops.
Probably saw Ty Hilton. Let him elevate that defense. So, oh, no. I'm sorry. Let him elevate that defense. Let Earl Thomas, the next edge guy we draft, and whatever else we address, bring that defense to the next level. Because if Jimmy G works out, like I hope it does, that offense is already going to be top 10. Let's bring in Thomas. Let's bring in these veteran guys, and let's elevate that defense. Screw being stuck in the middle. Screw being stuck in the bottom half. Let's get to the top. I think new edge guy, whoever else we bring in, is going to elevate that entirely.
All right. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, bro.
Before you talk, Mike, because I want to touch on what Anthony and Tony are talking about. And I know it's hard for you because you're an age guy. You're a number guy. You hold on. Let me finish. Not that that's a bad thing. But like I said, I think the Niners are going to bring in a veteran preference and draft somebody. So you just said it yourself. Richard Sherman proved you wrong. You didn't like it. He has upped the ability of the DBs playing by just being there, presence-wise. Yes or no?
I don't know that to be fact. I can't. That's not a provable. That you can't prove that.
Okay. All right.
I will say this.
You can't prove it.
I will say this. I will say that they're showing more heart. I will say that. I can't tell you that they're playing better, but they're definitely showing more heart, and I think that's due to Richard Sherman.
Right. Okay. So why not bring in a guy who knows this defense, who can still with injury, he's got at least 3 to 5 years left. 3 to 5 years. I mean, we're talking Ed Reed potential type player here. Like Earl Thomas is not just another safety. He's a safety who's played his position well, and he wants to eat. He wants to play, and on top of that, he's going to have that angry-ass attitude towards Seattle like Richard Sherman did with all the shit that was going on with him in Seattle, and then him getting hurt, holding out, getting paid, doing whatever. He's just going to bring that tenacity to the younger guys, and it's just going to coach up the younger guys, but it's going to elevate every single player on the team as well as our defense. So he's going to elevate the team on the defensive side of the ball for years to come, plus now. And that's what we need right now. We need that player to come in, like Anthony's saying, is elevate the team now and put the team in position to learn younger guys to elevate longer. Like,
no, I get what you're saying. You want someone to pass on the knowledge, the tutelage. You want them to go in there, take what we know about the system, like Tony said. This is supposed to be the Seahawks system. Get those guys here that played it at the highest levels and pass it on. I get that. And here, I think I have a Seattle bias. I'm tired of seeing Brock Coyle. I'm tired of seeing Malcolm Smith, Richard Sherman. Every time we drop somebody from Seattle, Niner fans are like, oh, we got to go get him. We got to go get him. So you're right. I am completely being unfair, specifically with Earl Thomas. If you ask me, if I had to choose just one of those guys from Seattle to bring here, it would 100% be Earl Thomas based off of how they play. So I want to let you know, I do acknowledge how good he is, and I do think he has something left in the tank. I do think that he can pass on that knowledge to other people. I think he was the heartbeat and pulse of that secondary, not Richard Sherman. I think it was him. I think Richard Sherman was forced to be a mouthpiece over there because Earl Thomas wasn't the guy at the microphone all the time. I believe that Earl Thomas is what we need here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just so tired of all the Seattle guys, man. And I think John Lynch has a hard-on for anything named Seattle Seahawks. I really, really do.
And the other problem is this draft class, like last year, we just talked about, weakened pass rusher. So this year, it's strengthened pass rusher, weakened safeties. So in order to get a quick fix and to address it, that's how you attack. This is a free agency. If you're going to address the free safety position, it's going to be through free agency. Okay. Yeah. You're going to address the pass rusher in the first round, plus add a veteran in free agency. And Buckner's probably going to get extended this offseason.
And I don't think it's so much as that John Lynch has, his balls out or whatever you want to say for Seattle.
I said a hard on. I've never said anyone has their balls out before.
All right. So I don't want to say that it's that specific thing, but here's the thing. You have this player and you have this player, right? This player played in the system that we're playing in and has played it at a high level. It's not just at the highest level. So it's not just because he was with Seattle. It's because, one, he's played this position at a high level and he's played it in a scheme at a high level. So if we can get him compared to somebody who hasn't played in this scheme but still played the game at a high level, I'd take the guy who played in the scheme and played it at a high level.
Correct.
I think, too, on top of bringing in Earl Thomas, we need 2 edge players. That's very clear. Armstead's good on run situations, but that's about it. We need a more refined pass rusher.
I think we all – go ahead.
Huh?
I was going to say, I think we all said already that we want them to address edge in the draft as well as in free agency.
Yeah, we need 2 edge spots. Cassius Marsh and Eric Armstead? No, that's not it.
Yeah, but you also have Contavious Street, who's going to fill in one of those roles on inside, where Armstead has been playing. So, right. Which we don't know what he's going to be. He just started practicing. So, I mean, that's the guy a lot of people forget about. Not that you're saying you forgot about,
but with the hunger for edge, I think we should draft one. And again, like I said, I think we should sign one. If we can get Earl Thomas, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if Frank Clark follows suit too. If Seattle lets Frank Clark walk, then they're really gonna rebuild that Seattle defense. So I'm not saying Legion of Boom, but I'm saying bring in some of these guys who were teammates and bring in some of these guys who understand each other, and like we said, just elevate that whole defense entirely. One edge guy in the draft isn't gonna cut it.
If we add Frank Clark in free agency, you're trading out of the second pick. I'm telling you right now.
We're trading out the second pick anyway. We're not staying at 2.
I don't know, Mike.
We're not.
I'm with you, Mike. I don't think we're picking at number 2. I think it's going to be a traded pick.
Listen, here's what I will say. I think the Niners have their eyes on 3 edge guys. I think that in any good regime, you don't go into it with this is the only guy, right? I think they have their eye on 3 guys. I won't pretend to know who I think they are or anything like that. But this is what I think. If Bosa or one of those 3 don't go number 1, they're definitely trading out of that spot. They're 100% trading out of that spot.
Now,
I don't doubt it at all.
How far back would you go?
No further than 8 or 9. No further than that.
So you think you can get one of those 3 at 8 from 2?
Yep.
Without no one jumping in front of you, knowing that you need an edge rusher.
Yeah. Yep. Well, listen. This is what happens. Hear me out. Hear me out. You start getting nervous. The ammo that you acquired to get the number 2 or to trade back, you can use that to move back up. We started with 5. Correct. You get what I'm saying? We're here right now with 5. That's it. We got pennies in this draft. So if you can get a little bit of ammo, and I'm saying that's as far back as I would go, because I ran off a list of I was up to 5 players that I think the Niners could benefit from. Not all of them are edge guys. Some of them are interior rushers, but I'll take an Aaron Donald in the middle. You know what I'm saying? If there's a guy in there that can be that disruptive in the middle, I'm going to take that too. We need someone who can do it consistently. That's what we need. I don't care if it's edge or if it's coming from the inside. We need someone who can do it consistently. And then on the second side, I think we need a playmaker in the secondary. So
they proved that in their first year drafting too, Lynch and Shanahan, when they got Foster. When we traded back with the Bears, they used that 3rd round pick, right? That they got from the Bears to move up back in the first and get Foster. So exactly. I would not be surprised if they do it again.
That's exactly my point.
And the point is, too, is like Mike touched on, there are likely 3, 4, 5 edge guys that they all like. And
yeah, but you're talking the price is totally different to go from the 3rd pick in the 2nd round to 31 rather than 8 to 3 or 8 to 4.
No, that's not.
Yeah, two is way more valuable. That's the thing. 2 is like a whole other level. So I'm saying if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if we just move back a few spots, get another 1st, get a 2nd, 3rd, and still be able to get a Clelin Ferrell or a Josh Allen, or if they like him, a Burns or a Sweat. Fuck, we might even get Quinnen Williams. We might even get Ed Oliver. This entire deal
is
loaded. That's
no. What I'm saying. Pull lights out there. Like there's a lot. Anthony's point is that there's a lot of guys out here that you don't have to stay pat at 2.
No, you're right, but there's a difference, Mike. You want a true edge rusher, or you want just a defensive lineman. This team cannot take an interior lineman again.
Yes, we can, man. You know what?
Mike, you can't do it. How do you explain that, Mike? How?
Because I don't like the Solomon Thomas pick to begin with. Get his bum ass out of here. I'm over him, bro.
You can't do that. You can't do it, Mike. There's too much cap money tied into him. You can't do it.
Bro.
I think
if they cut him, it will cost them $9 million.
You want to get better, or you want to just pay people just to pay him?
No. Don't do that, because I talked about cutting Ward, and you're like, no, you can't do that because it's $8 million. No.
I also
No.
I also saw potential in Ward. I also said that I like the way Ward plays. And I've said that all along. Y'all have clowned me for liking Ward, for liking Armstead, and I stand my ground on those thoughts. I still think that those guys play well when they get out there.
And so Solomon Thomas has been playing well the last 5 weeks of the season.
I'm going to drink my seltzer water now.
You just have a hatred against. Look, I don't think the Niners pick number 2 anyway. I think everybody's out there with, Allen or. I mean, I like Polite, dude. I think Polite is very underrated.
The only thing that scares me about him is they pull him off the field and run. He's only on the field in packages. He's not in all. That's scary.
But we have middle guys. Like, we have guys that can go in for run. We need a pass rusher. Somebody who's going to consistently on passing downs attack the quarterback.
We were the best third and short defense in run situations too.
Yeah, Allen, what was Allen like? Go back and watch Allen's tape this year. Everybody, I don't see it. Like, people are like, "Oh, he's a stud. He's this. He's that." He's fast.
Like Josh Allen?
He's fast. That's it.
What? That's what you need off the Nick. Listen to what you're saying, bro.
Josh Allen's good, Nick.
Like,
he did the right thing. He did the right thing by staying at Kentucky last year and coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not good.
He's a good ball player.
But I'm just saying he has one move, and it's fast off the edge. That's it. He doesn't have a bull rush. He doesn't have a swing move, a swim move. He has nothing but I'm going to beat you to the outside. That's it.
Is he successful?
But look at the talent he's going up against.
SEC?
What? Yeah, I was going to say, you're proving that point.
Bro, all right.
Nick, you're arguing for us. You just said, look at the talent he's going against.
I understand that. But
Mike, I'm going to say something Nick, I'm going to say something real quick. You can bash me if you want.
How many sacks do he have this year? 9?
Talent-wise, I don't know.
9?
Talent-wise, Allen plays versus better talent than Nick Bosa does.
Talk your shit, Tony. Huh? I haven't dropped one of them in a while. Talk your shit, Tony.
And how many sacks does Allen have this year?
I think he's got maybe 10 or 12.
I'll pull him up for you.
All I know is he won 3 prestige awards for.
I don't give a shit about awards. Joe Staley wins awards too. I don't care about awards.
The thing is,
you're trying to see Joe Staley's bad.
Hold on. Richie James won tons of awards in fucking college too. And what's he doing on the?
He's playing versus SEC competition. SEC competition is the best in the country.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that he's not a good Allen's not a good player.
You did just say that.
No, I didn't say that. I said he has one move. That's it. I want somebody who's more like
this year. Let me answer your question. This year,
he has 10 sacks this year.
He had 14 sacks, 18 and a half tackles for loss.
He had 10 sacks this year.
I'm looking at he had 10 sacks this year. Fine. I'm looking it up right now. I'm literally looking at it. 14 sacks, 18 and a half for loss. 18 and a half tackles for loss. It says 2018 Kentucky SEC senior. I don't know what you're seeing over there.
I think going for Josh Allen, I've seen him get some clowny comparisons, but some people over exaggerate.
No, but
I think Josh Allen, because he's a speed guy, would fit a lot better in a 3-4 scheme than a 4-3. Yeah, that's why I like Bosa a lot better, because not only is Ohio prominent, they also aren't they SEC too? They also face that competition too, right?
No.
Or whatever Ohio is.
They're Big 10. They're Big 10 or Big 12.
Okay. The competition is still there. But I think Bosa is more versatile enough to fit our type of scheme rather than Allen.
Bro.
That's the thing. That's just my opinion. That's just how I
And I respect your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. I shouldn't have to say that, but Clowney is potentially a free agent. You're not getting excited to try to get him? Every single one of you right now would take Clowney without hesitation, and you know it.
Oh, I would.
I can't comment on it because he's going to get franchise tagged, and everyone's getting their hopes up about it.
You guys all think that, dude. You guys all think that. Everybody thinks that every single player this year that's going to get tagged is going to get tagged. Nobody's even looked at what money they have. You think Dallas is really going to be able to tag DeMarcus Lawrence with Prescott, Zeke, and all those other people coming up?
No, but see, the reason people say that, you can tag a player and you can work out a deal. Like the tag just buys you more time. And then if you can't work out a deal, then that's when the tough cuts come later on. Like, well, we got to get rid of this guy. We got to get rid of that guy. It does leave a team in a bind, but the tag is just a tool to extend time. That's really what it is. But you're right though, Nick. A lot of people say it and they don't look at, they don't look at the cap space to see if it's even feasible. Like you're absolutely right. But Clowney would excite every single one of us right now.
No doubt. No doubt.
Every single one of us. And so getting another Clowney who is a speed guy in Josh Allen, we should still be just as excited about it. I don't get it.
Clowney can bull rush you too.
Yeah, because he put weight on. Clowney spent an offseason, a full year putting weight on it and getting stronger. Allen's 260 right now.
Okay, so all right, so let me rephrase this then. If we sign a Clowney or somebody like that in free agency, Allen's fine because he'll have time to develop in the NFL. You just bring in Allen right now by himself, I don't like it.
Oh no, but we said that
because he's going to.
We should address.
That's why I would sign another edge in free agency.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, compared to like Allen or a draft guy, I think that Allen still has a lot to learn to play in the NFL for pass rushing wise, compared to what I think Polite's a little bit ahead of him only because of more moves, more things like that. I'm not saying that Polite is going to be a way better player than Allen, but I think Allen still needs to learn other moves. You can't get by in the NFL with only one move. You can't.
Yeah, can I listen to this? And here's another reason I like Allen, right? Check this out. You talked about his speed. How many times have we seen our linemen dropped out in the coverage and it drives everybody crazy? That's something else. Now you don't have to worry about that if Allen is that guy.
Yeah, but Allen's not going to drop into coverage.
Why wouldn't he?
Because that's not the way the scheme goes. They don't drop your defensive end.
We have seen everybody drop back in coverage on this defensive line. It's not that it doesn't happen every down. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen it happen. But my point though is that he can serve multiple purposes, and you have to remember that you're drafting guys not because they're a finished product, but because you see the potential. We can use what you do. Now let's add to your toolbox. You get what I'm saying? We're not going into Sears and we're buying a complete tool set. We're buying just a case that has something in it that we can fill up later on. And Allen is a hell of a starting piece, man. He's my favorite. I got no problem with saying that he's my favorite. But I'll be content with any of the other guys. Also, I like Clelin Ferrell last year. You know what I mean? But he didn't come out obviously. But I liked him last year. There's a lot of different potential guys. But listen, man, I got to get running soon. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm not saying that we got to stop this, but I know I personally have to get running soon. I want to introduce. Can I do this now? Should I do it now? I want to introduce the best Niner there is right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, bring him in.
All right, guys.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, he's doing some weird shit with his tongue right now, but I got to introduce you guys to my Niner.
Yo, you're not like Ian Rappaport over there, are you? With like,
oh shit!
Fuck you up.
He was having a bad dream. He tried to kill me. Come on, man. Here's my little killer. This is my Niner, guys. This is the Dogo Argentino. He's not a pit. Don't ask if he's a pit. He's not a pit. Dogo Argentino. He was asleep. I woke him up. He almost killed me. Did y'all hear that? Was that picked up on the microphone?
Yeah.
I'd have bit his ass back. Y'all have been calling Peter on me, man.
Check him out. Niner. What you doing, buddy? Hey, buddy. Look at him looking all over the place.
He does the sideways head thing like.
Look at that tail. That tongue.
Oh, he's got that tuna breath that the puppies have. But yeah, this is the MVP. We're gonna put him on the edge, and then all of our problems are over, man. But yeah, so guys, listen, man, the season's over for us. We're gonna do a reflection show. We're not gonna do all that right now, but we're gonna reflect on the entire season. There was, I think, a lot of downs, but there's some positives in here. I think we discovered some depth that we would have never discovered if it weren't for all these injuries. Now we just got to stop the damn injuries. I think that's the important thing, and I think that's why if I hear anything about the Niners on Black Monday, it's going to be I'm hoping it's something to do with the strength and conditioning or switching up of team doctor or something like that. I don't know, but we got to figure something out, man.
There's already been, 2 firings today? Coder and Todd Bowles?
Coder, Bowles, Joseph, and Wilkes, and I think Adam Gase might be soon.
Damn, they all got canned today?
Gase might be soon.
Yeah, I saw that Goder and Bowles got fired already.
Wait, is it? Are you saying Cooter or Who is it?
Coder. Tampa.
Coder.
Cutter.
From Tampa.
Cutter. Cooter.
Cooter.
Yeah, same shit.
Hey, listen, man. Where I'm from, you can't say cooter in church, all right?
Jobless. We just call him jobless.
All right. So you said, wait, who else? Who else got cut? You said Joseph?
Vance Joseph and Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes and Todd Bowles.
Oh, maybe we can bring one of those guys in for our secondary coach.
Adam Gase might be gone soon too, and the Dolphins already confirmed they're not bringing back Tannehill.
Really? I did see a report that said the Jaguars head coach is safe though.
Yeah.
They cut their OC, Todd Monken.
Yeah.
I think Monken. Yeah.
We had a Curtis Monkins.
Mike,
We
somebody
also had don't we have a Jeep Christ? Wasn't that
Christ.
Yeah, Jeep Christ.
Yeah. Ugh.
What were we about to say, Nick?
Somebody asked where you got Niner from. Sorry.
So my dad actually works down in Georgia with the police department, and he breeds these guys here. So I got a nice little family discount on them. It only cost me like $700. That's the family discount. Yes, that's really the discounted price for it.
Hey Nick, is there any questions in the chat?
I got to catch up. I just pulled it back up because my phone just turned back on. But
are you in as us, Nick? Like you can control? All right, cool. So today, guys, I wanted to ask you guys something else about the offense. How'd you guys feel about the offensive performance aside from Kittle? What'd you guys think of seeing Bourne as a starter, Richie James out there? There was a Trent Taylor sighting. He got the 2-point conversion. You guys' thoughts on that?
There was a Ross Dwelly sighting also.
He caught a pass today too?
Yeah, he got a pass.
Oh shit.
What outside of Kittle, I don't have any comment on Morris. That's whatever. That's wish-wash. But I liked Kendrick Bourne's touchdown, and I'm going to point that out in particular because he showed strong hands, and Croc will probably talk about it more too, but he likes Bourne. I like Bourne as wide receiver 4 also, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's elevated because, I don't know if this front office, is going to do anything about wide receiver because they like Pettis. Wide receiver market is really thin in free agency. They might address it again in the second round. We have an early second rounder, early fourth rounder, so who knows? But I like Bourne. I like what he showed today, especially against a pretty tough secondary. You can only do so much when you are the best wide receiver in the field, and we all know how Mike feels about Trent Taylor. So there's nothing to go into. But no, I like what Bourne showed. I really did. I think, like Mike said, this whole season, after all the injuries, we got to see a lot of what our depth pieces look like. How many teams have good depth? It's really hard to come across. It really is. Only the top defenses do. And not going to get into Earl Thomas again, but being able to sign and draft the right guys on defense, it'll show big time when it comes down to it, and our depth is going to be a factor, especially when this team is healthy. Outside of that, though, I'm getting back to the defense. I like Bourne. Overall, Bourne was really good. He showed that I think he deserves a spot on this team. Whether it's the 4th or 5th guy, he deserves a spot. I like Bourne a lot. The rest of the offense, meh. What can you do? Mullins proved why he's a backup. Mullins proved also why he is an undrafted free agent. But, hey.
I didn't get to see the game. The only offensive drive I saw was the last one where Kittle got the touchdown. So take everything I say about the offense with a grain of salt. I got to listen to a lot of the game, and it sounded to me like Richie James, who you guys know I was advocating for all offseason, sounded to me like he had a lot of issues today. There was a play where Tim Ryan was that's the broadcast I was listening to. He was calling out the formation or whatever. Then all of a sudden he's like, "What the hell is?" No, he didn't say what the hell. He's like, "What is Richie?" Oh, the Niners gonna have to burn a timeout. And then you hear a whistle, and there was a timeout that was burned, but it turned out that it was called by the Rams. I don't remember if it was in the first half or the second half, but he was like really pissed off that Richie James seemed to be lost. Like him and Mullins couldn't get on the same page. Again, I didn't see the play, but I'm anxious to go back and watch because I was advocating so hard for Richie James this offseason.
I think he lined up on the wrong side of the formation.
Right. And so I just want to go back and see, like, you're preparing all week to be the starter and you can't get the basic, that's troubling, and I understand that he's a rookie, but this is week 17 also. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a play, I forget which half it was, where he ran the wrong route also. Him and Bourne both ran curls, and I think he was supposed to run a go or an inside cut route. I don't know what it was, but he ran the wrong route.
Right, and that's what I was gathering from the broadcast. They were like, "There's some issues going on here," and every time I heard him say something like that, it had Richie James was one of the people in it that were confused. Even the play with the timeout, they were like, "I don't know if Mullins got it wrong or if it was Richie James, but someone's not on the same page here." They said something about 2 wide receivers. I don't remember if it was Bourne, but they said something about after a play, the 2 wide receivers were in the same area, and they were like, that there was an issue there, and they were like, and one of them was Richie James. And I'm like, why is his name brought up every time they're saying it's an issue? And so, that's something else that I'm going to be looking for when I watch the game tape. I will say this though. I know Alfred Morris had that long run, but from everything they were saying, he was running strong and hard all game, even for short gains. They said that he had like you could tell he had the freshest legs of everybody else on the field.
He broke 2 nice long ones.
Yeah,
I know he had a 51-yarder. I did hear that. I didn't see it, but I heard it. But I don't know. I didn't know about the second one. What's that?
He ran over 100 on the day.
Nice.
He had a 50 and a 30, I think. 2 nice runs, cleans, and he shot like a cannon out of the freaking hole. I was like, whoa, who the hell's that?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really good.
I got something to say on Bourne. I think Bourne just needs more experience. I think he has the potential. I just don't think he's ready to be a starter yet. With that being said, there's 2 receivers. Well, I'll just tell you 2 receivers that I'd like to see the Niners go after in free agency, that I think would help or be good in this system, and then a tight end that I want to see. And you're probably laughing at my tight end, but
You're going to laugh at my receiver. I'm going to tell you my receiver when you're done.
Yeah, I'll tell you my 2 receivers. My tight end first, though, and I want to hear what you guys' opinion on it is Jesse James. What would you bring him in here?
Yeah, it would. His athletic ability isn't that of Kittle, but he's definitely a good number 2.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if we line up in 2 tight end sets, I think that would be really good for us. But 2 receivers that I'd like to bring in, and you're probably going to laugh at me for these ones. But Dante Moncrief.
Nope, you're right.
And Anderson.
Robbie?
Yep.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent this year.
He's the same type of receiver as Pettis is.
I think, but he would still. He's one of those players that could. Dude, look at what he's doing with the Jets, bro.
He's got a really strong hand, dude.
Bro,
that's another one of Croc's guys.
Look at that hat.
Yeah, you like that hat?
Jesus God, look at that hat.
I think Mike was like never allowed to have lights when he was a kid because everything he likes, he gets that lights up. Sunglasses, hats. But you wouldn't bring in Anderson? You think because he's the same player as Pettis?
He's the same type of style receiver Pettis is. I think they need they need a guy that runs the underneath routes, like a Garcon type receiver. Because as of right now, if they cut Garcon, the number 1 receiver that's playing the X or the Z, the X, the Z. That's the possession I think in Kyle's offense is going to be Kendrick Bourne.
I'm not mad at that though.
Like Nick said, Bourne just needs more time, but Bourne has it. I think Bourne has it.
You can't use it.
Bourne played on the same team as Cooper Kupp, and I don't know why. I mean, they were both highly rated like wide receivers. They had outstanding numbers. I don't know if it was a system, inflated their numbers, but they were both on that same team.
What about Dante Moncrief? What's your guys' feelings on him?
I like him. I think the drop issue is overblown. But I think what the hell can you do with Blake Bortles and Cody Kessler? you know, in
But
Jacksonville.
he's going to have to work on his route running skills because Shanahan ain't going to fucking go for that. Like,
Yeah,
but I think Moncrief is intriguing. I wouldn't mind that signing at all either.
Let me tell you guys my wide receiver. I don't have a problem with Moncrief. I wouldn't mind a flyer on him if the contract is right. But my receiver is probably going to piss you guys off because you guys, he's going to be a second chance guy.
I already know what you're going to say.
I guarantee you don't know who I'm going to say.
Floyd.
Nope.
Martavius Bryant.
Nope, not Martavius Bryant. Although I wouldn't mind him either. He is a free agent. But Kevin White.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Kevin White, the guy who went to Chicago.
Yep.
Is he a free agent? He's going to be a free agent?
I'm pretty sure. I think he's a free agent this year.
He is. The Bears didn't pick up his option.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Did absolutely nothing in Chicago. This dude had a ton of potential coming out of college. And I think that if Shanahan can get his hands on him, he'd be motivated just because of Shanahan's offense. And getting him the ball in space, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is he hurt?
He was. He's not anymore.
So he's like active. He's not like on injury reserve or anything, right?
I'm not.
No, he's been active. He's just like 5th on the depth chart.
Here's some of the top receivers that are.
Can I just say my guy who I would like to go after? Terrell Williams from the Chargers.
Yes, Tyrell.
I've seen him on the waiver wire in fantasy football.
Here's just some of the names: Fitzgerald, which we know is not going to go anywhere. Cobb, Moncrief, Tavon Austin, Golden Tate, Ryan Grant, John Brown, Jermaine Kearse, Cordell Patterson, Kevin White, Mike Wallace, Chris Hogan, Cole Beasley, Tyrell Williams, Adam Humphries, Martavius Bryant, Brandon LaFell, Devin Funches.
Yeah, I think I like Kevin White, like Mike said, because look at what happened with Rashad.
Tony, we got some feedback from you, Tony.
Uh-oh.
What do you hear?
When Anthony's speaking, your mic is picking it up and back and forth.
There you go. Okay. Brashad Perriman in Cleveland has been balling. Whatever happened in Cleveland, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator that turned him around or the coach or what, but Perriman has turned it up in Cleveland. He caught a touchdown today. He got some nice catches today against Baltimore, his former team. And Kevin White is from that same draft class, by the way, both of those two guys. And I just have this feeling, if we brought in Kevin White, who was insanely talented when he was coming out of college, I think Shanahan can turn that guy around big time. So, yeah, Mike, I don't think that's crazy at all. I like Kevin White a lot. Who cares if we bring him in on a 1-year deal? Give him a prove it. So what?
Exactly. There's two guys I would give the prove it to. And I know that you thought I was going to say Martavius Bryant. That's why I didn't say it. But he is my other guy. You guys know I wanted him this year. I would bring him in on a prove it. He gets in trouble. He's smoking weed still. See you later. But imagine the competition that you were like instantly putting into this locker room at the wide receiver position. If you have Martavius Bryant, Kevin White, Dante Pettis, Marquise Goodwin, Kendrick Bourne, Richie James. That is a hell of a wide receiving core right there, man.
I think he's facing a suspension, Mike.
Bryant?
Yeah.
He got suspended again?
He got suspended again.
I got nothing except flashing lights. That's all I got.
He needs to get a hat like you, stay out of trouble.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble if everybody can see you. That's not true. I did a lot of stupid stuff with the spotlight on me. But guys, listen, you guys keep the chat going if you want. I have to run. I had a blast doing this with you guys. Anthony, I'm glad that the link worked for you. Tony, my man, we're going to wrap soon. We got to do a podcast this week, man. I'm not on call starting tomorrow at 7:01 a.m. I am officially off of being on call. So once I get out of work at 5 o'clock, I'm good. Wednesday night, I have an appointment to get my wig done. I can't show you guys because it is horrible right now. My man, Nick, I want you on the podcast too. Anthony, if you want to jump on with us, the more the merrier, guys. I like this roundtable. This was a good talk I've had with you guys. If you guys want to give me a follow, all the viewers out there, I am 49ers Mike _NF on Twitter. That is the only Twitter handle of mine that you need to know because the other ones are not appropriate. But guys, I love talking sports. My dog's name is Niner. You guys know I'm in this for the long haul. I got a 49ers tattoo over here that I did custom. This is what we do over here, man. And I'm excited about the offseason, not just the 49ers offseason, but nothing but Niners offseason. We are going to kick ass out here. You guys keep rock. You guys keep rocking out, though. What's up, Nick?
We always lead the offseason. We're the only ones that keep going. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Absolutely. Podcast is going to come back stronger than ever. Never mind. I'm not going to put it out there yet. But the podcast, you guys are going to get flooded and you're going to get tired of it. But we're coming. We're coming strong. I'm telling you guys right now. So I'm up out of here. You guys going to keep going, right?
No? I'm actually going to hop off because I'm starting to get in.
Oh, well, then shit. Closing thoughts from everybody. I'm all right. Closing thoughts. Anybody want to go first? Go ahead.
All right, I'll go first then. I know it's been a while since I've done a podcast or a video, but it's good to be back. And I was caught up in college and all that shit, but I'm free now. So I'm ready to turn up the hot takes, especially when we get Steph and Stu and Dylan and all those guys on it, because the hot takes are going to be real. Like Mike said and like Nick said, expect a lot of content during the offseason. This draft is going to be loaded, and expect a lot of draft articles, a lot of draft breakdowns from Scott, Croc, all those guys. We'll be ready on it. We won't keep you waiting, guys. We'll be here.
Love it. Love it. Tony, man, any thoughts, closing arguments? Week 17 is in the bags, man. We won't see another 49ers game until August. God dang it, August.
Thank God for DVRs, no?
Yeah, right.
Just looking forward to hopefully a very, very busy offseason. It's an important offseason for this regime. I think we're going to be very active. There's going to be breaking news from Mike, hopefully for signings, trades, all rumors. Positives for today, I thought Kendrick Bourne played well. George Kittle had a phenomenal game, broke the record. Congrats to Kittle Corn, as Tim Ryan would say. We found a gem with that man. The negatives, the one negative of me is the defense, but, we addressed it. Everyone, put their 2 cents in and what they thought, their opinions. And that's it, man. Just looking forward to the offseason, talking. Hopefully we can get the podcast going again with Mike, myself, and whoever wants to join. If you have any questions, comments, input, NJ9erFan499 on Twitter. Hit me up whenever you want. And that's pretty much it. Oh, just one more thing I just want to touch on. If there is a change in the secondary and the coaching staff for athlete, one guy keep an eye on is the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, Manuel Marklin or something. He was rumored to come over with Kyle when he was originally hired, but the Falcons blocked him. So that's just a name to keep an eye on as a possible replacement for Halfley.
He played with and they all know each other.
All right, guys. I don't really have much other to fill in on that. I mean, make sure you give Anthony a follow. Make sure you give Tony a follow, Mike a follow as well. Like Mike said, man, we're going to be coming at you hardcore this offseason. We'll be going into, I guess this is our second offseason, right? Yeah, second offseason with Nothing But Niners. Make sure you check out. We got a lot of things going to be coming new. Probably going to have a new website revamp next year for you. Going to have some new apparel released soon. You can check out our Birth of a Dynasty t-shirts if you guys want to, and our sweatshirts as well. But we have another design. I think you're really going to like it. It should be out Wednesday or Thursday this week. Once I do get that design finished, maybe I'll go live and we can just show it off and show everybody. We'll just shoot the shit. But once I get that done, you can find me on Twitter at 49er Faithful 365. No S, just 49er Faithful 365. You can hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Nothing But Niners. You can check us out on Twitter and Snapchat at Nothing But 9ERS. And like I said, nothingbutniners.com. Got a slew of great writers over there. Put out a lot of great content. Make sure you check that out. You can find all of our social media over there. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the Niners and all the IRs this year, man, I think we still have something to look forward to. I'm not going to say that we're a playoff or a Super Bowl team next year, but the offseason should be fun, guys. Make sure you stay in tune with us this year. and get your info here. But I know Mike had to finish up with something also.
Screw that. We're making the playoffs.
I got $100 bet with a guy at my cigar parlor. I made this bet at the beginning of this season that the 49ers make the Super Bowl next season. When we lost Jimmy Garoppolo, he came to me and said, hey, man, listen, I'm going to give you a chance to take the bet off the table, but you got to pay me $50 right now. I said, hell no, baby, let it ride. This is the most important offseason for this regime. Absolutely, hands down, without a question. This is the most important one right here. This is the one where there's no excuses about the roster. There's no excuses about scheme. None of that. All the excuses go out of the door. It's do or die this season right here. We have a tough-ass schedule. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. If one of you guys want to pull that up really quick, we have one of the toughest schedules I've seen in a long time. And I still am letting my bet ride that we are going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I'm not saying we're going to win. The Niners will be in the Super Bowl this year. I truly, truly believe that. We got to do a couple of things right, and we are right there. All right. But what I wanted to say, I'm gonna let Nick sign us out. But Tony mentioned something really quick that I wanted to touch on. The breaking news segments that we do. The breaking news segments on here are really, really important because as soon as the Niners sign somebody, we do 10 minutes of research and we talk to you guys about it for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. It is something that I take a lot of pride in. We take a lot of pride in. Usually Nick can jump on with me. We break things down. It's a lot of good information in a very short window where you're going to have other websites and things like that trying to catch up, and it's going to be articles or something like that. This is going to be something that you can just hit play on and listen to in the background, and you get a lot of information. Super informative, and it's raw. It's right there to you, and it's instant, guys. So please, please, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to this account, and then hit the little bell with the notification on there, okay? Because as soon as we go live with breaking news, there's no, oh, Nothing But Niners is going to be live in 15 minutes or anything. You don't get that. Breaking news videos come out as soon as the news breaks. So, and if you're gonna miss them if you don't have the notification turned on. So make sure you guys do that. Nick, the floor is yours, baby. Take it away.
All right, guys, just to so the 2019 49ers opponents, home games are going to be the Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Steelers, and Packers. Away games are going to be the Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, Saints, Buccaneers, Ravens, Bengals, and Washington. So that's a tough schedule next year, guys. Let's see how many. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff teams from this year.
5 playoff teams. 2 of those teams we play twice.
Yeah.
2 of those teams we play. And then if you go back to last year, the Panthers were in the playoffs then. You know what I mean? There was another team on there too that was in the playoffs as well. Like this is going to be crazy, man. It's going to be a tough year. We're going to see what the Niners are about, man. I mean, go ahead, Anthony.
I was just commenting the Steelers were also. That's another former playoff team, and they're no easy competition at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But yeah, if anybody's going to be at the New Orleans game next year, I'm going to New Orleans game next year. I'm definitely going to that game. I'm going to go party it up on Bourbon Street, bro.
Washington. I'll go to a Washington game.
Yeah, I'll probably go to Washington too. But
I had a blast in Washington. I've been to Baltimore also, so that'll probably be a fun one. I think that one's on the road, the Ravens game, right? He said that was a road game. So
yeah,
if it's in the Northeast, I usually hit them up anyway. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll let you guys know where you guys can catch up with the Nothing But Niners crew. You guys can look for the flag. Was I not supposed to say that? Oh, my bad. All right, go ahead, Nick. Take it away, bro.
No, guys, thanks for joining as always. Hold on one second. I hear too much feedback when I talk with when Tony's like picks up in his bat cave over there. I'm like waiting for a Batman suit to come out. But anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for joining us all season long as well. Look, see, and he brings the Batman thing out. I knew it. And I'd never seen that he had that on camera either. I was just making a joke. Guys, thanks for following us, man. All the love and the support. You know, the people that have ordered the Birth of Dynasty shirts, our first apparel. People that are in here all the time. Ryan Chillin, which is Kicks, Niner by Nature, Coach, Shulo, Go Hard. I mean, I could just keep going. We didn't really interact with the chat that much tonight, guys. I saw a fan that was new and said, do you guys ever look at the chat? Yes, we normally do. Off season 2, we'll have fans on. We'll talk to them, get their intakes and stuff like that. Podcast, we have call-ins, voice messages. You can leave that. You can find all that information on our website at nothingbutniners.com. But from me to you guys, I appreciate all the support throughout the year. I know our Niners weren't as good as we thought, but we got to see a lot of depth, like Anthony said. If it wasn't for injuries, we wouldn't have been able to see all that depth. And that's pretty much all I got. So I'm going to try to get to healing up and like our team on the off season. And I'm going to be ready to go for 2019, man. So anybody else got anything? Head shake? Yes, no? Maybe so? All right.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday. Yeah, so Anthony, thanks for joining. Tony, thanks for joining. Mike, as always. But guys, that's about it for right now. And keep that notification bell set because you never know when Nothing But Niners is going live. And above all else, stay faithful. We out of here.